January the 21st, 2022. Guys, for all my friends up along the Georgia and through the Carolinas, along the coast there, we talked about in the video, I think it was yesterday, about the ice storm, this time being along the coast. And in some places, since for several years, there's not been an ice storm warning in some of these areas. So we're looking at grand solar minimum. We're looking at multiple volcanoes that have been going off, and that ash layer gets into the upper atmosphere, and it reflects the sun's light back out into space. It's occurred during every minimum that we've seen. And I think it was in the year 555, you can look it up. There was an entire year with almost no sunlight because of all the volcanic activity. Crops withered around the northern hemisphere. I think I mentioned that. And so you're going to see records broke both in the winter and the summer. In the summer for storms, and in the winter for extreme icing and record-breaking events. So what you're looking at now, this is for tonight, and it is now 5:43 p.m. here in central Mississippi. This is Central Time. And the sun has set in the west, but you can still see it. Finally, the clouds moved out of here. And I noticed for you guys along the Louisiana and Mississippi Gulf Coast over into Alabama and Florida, that you were getting some of this ice and mix early this morning throughout the day. As it warmed up, that started to move north. But for our friends again, Georgia, South Carolina, all the way up north of Greenville. Notice how close this is to the coast. The temperatures have dropped. An Arctic vortex dip has occurred, and the storm center is going to be offshore. That means it's going to be throwing a lot of moisture away. I think a foot of snow, we'll look at that chart in some areas, and a half of inch of ice. You may not think that's much until it starts snapping tree limbs down on power lines, and you can't travel anywhere, and so you don't want to be doing that. But this ice storm warning, this goes through early tomorrow morning, Saturday a.m. Down trees and power lines. Dangerous travel, bridges and overpasses freeze first because they don't have the cooling effect of the earth. In the dark pink, it's significant. In the lighter pink, it's some impact, and some of that will be a mixture of snow and ice. But this goes from Augusta, Georgia, dipping all the way from there south, and then going north through Columbia up to Greenville, North Carolina, Wilmington, Myrtle Beach. You can see the map. And this more than likely will continue to move a little further north before it's pulled offshore, because that's what we've been seeing. And this is another map of the area that includes snow. And you're looking again up to 12 inches in this dark blue area that's south of Norfolk, Virginia. And in your lighter blue, it will be intermittent snow. And then in your pink and your dark pinks, again, that's where your ice to snow is here. And then from Myrtle Beach going west and then dipping south along the Georgia line, guys, that's ice. And I'm not sure if this was related, but I've been on the road today, and this afternoon, late coming in, I was on Highway 49 North coming, and guys, that basically moves from Memphis down to Gulfport, Mississippi, but it goes through Jackson. I was south of there. But headed north in the opposite lane was a convoy of power trucks with the buckets and the bucket trucks from, I'm not sure what company, I couldn't read it. It was over in the other lane. But you see that when you start to down here a lot because of hurricanes and the damage occurred because of the high winds. But here again, in the you can back this up and look at it, but talking about down trees and power lines. So I know you know, guys, you're prepared. If you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, we always mention preparation, and that's key so that you don't have to get caught up in slippery roads or trying to get somewhere to get some emergency food or fuel or whatever like that. It's just the time to hunker down. And there's always people that are going to be caught off guard from this, but I have noticed, and I appreciate the comments from some truckers that said that they watch our weather updates, and it actually helps them determine on what route they need to try to handle or take or deviate from in some of the storms. So I appreciate that, and that's what we're trying to do here. Now, this, again, is for tonight, Friday night. AccuWeather local storm max totals of up to 12 inches of snow, and that's in the darker blues here along the coast of Virginia Beach. Come outside of that, 3 to 6 inches, 1 to 3 inches of snow, dipping very close to the same areas that we saw this ice storm. So you may get a little less snow than they get in Virginia Beach, but you're going to get a lot more ice, and that's, to me, the most dangerous part of any of these storms, because we went through it. It freezes up everything, blows transformers, drops power lines, freezes up water. Just it's something you really have to be prepared for. And I thank the Lord every day that we have a little bit of backup solar and a wood-burning stove. And by the way, before I end the video, I've mentioned it before, and I'm not affiliated with Home Depot, but I'll put a link. I think they still have them in stock, guys. It's a little Mr. Buddy portable heater. You can carry it around in your hand. You can attach the small green propane bottles to it, or you can get the attachment and attach it to one of the 5-gallon bottles. They're around $79. They've kind of went up since the summer, of course, and they're indoor safe. 9,000 BTUs is a lot of heat if you don't have any. I'll put a link to that in the below the description, guys. We're watching this. You guys stay warm and safe. It's a heads up. Be safe.